There we go. And so I'm just going to be doing something that's a little bit of a postcard size. So let's find a pencil to start off with. There we go. And let's think about how we're going to do this. So let's get maybe let's just get our first little house in, our townhouse. And we can have that one kind of going off the page a bit. So we've got some that have got these kind of flat roofs. So we'll start with a bit more of a kind of flattish roof. And it has, yeah, these pictures, some of them haven't got chimney pots, but some have. And then we'll get one of these that's more like so, next to. And I want to get a kind of a, I don't know, a brick wall or something going on. And maybe we'll just have this one going off the page, and then behind it, let's have something behind it. Let's have one going kind of across here. Like that, kind of higgledy-piggledy behind it. And then, yeah, maybe, yeah, we've got a little bit of a wall going on in some of these. So we'll have a bit of a wall. Let's just tidy that up a bit. And then we can have the kind of water there, and I can put some windows in. So let's find one of these straight ones that's kind of got just windows all the way down. And a front door. And maybe we've got one bigger window. So maybe, in fact, I'm going to move to my pen now. Let's move to my pen. Find. There we go. Let's use you now. We'll kind of go over some of this. Yeah, I don't want it to look completely even. I want it to look little bit wobbly, basically. Yeah, more wobbly. Hopefully my sound is working. And I might darken some of these lines up in a bit. So let's maybe have a big window. So I'm not really, so this one's like got one big window, hasn't it? Maybe we can fly. I'm just thickening up one side. I think it would just make it look a little bit more 3D. I think that works. Right. Now then, what should we have underneath? Should we have 3 windows underneath here? So this is just a little bit of a relaxing thing for me to do between clients today, just so that I can get some artwork done. And perhaps we'll have that front door here. Perhaps it'll be a kind of an archway. And then we'll have another one just there. These are fun, doing little houses, aren't they? They're not, we don't have to put ourselves under too much pressure. Have a window there, and there might be one there and one there. There's just a bit of one showing there, and then here maybe we'll have some different kind of windows going on. So I'm not really using the reference picture anymore. But, you know, we just need to get an idea from somewhere sometimes. There. So we've got our little row of houses. Now let's get some paints out. Okay, so I've got some Daniel Smith paints out. And those are my colours that I've got in here, but I'll yell out what I'm using as I go. And this was an empty core tin, so it's got a really nice mixing area in the lid. So I've got Princeton Snap Round size 6 and size 2 because this is quite a small painting. And let's start with getting something in the background for sky. So let's go with this one's Lunar Blue. Yep. So we'll get a little bit of Lunar Blue in the background. There we go. Just a pale sky in the background. And then I'm going to move about a bit because I don't want to be touching the bit that's wet. So let's have this house in the middle. And this looks like it's Aussie Red Gold that I've already got in here. So I think I'm going to use that. And why not? Oh, actually, maybe it's got Quin Sienna, Quinacridone Sienna in it. Or even a mixture of both. I'm not sure. Ooh, got to go all the way around all these windows. Never mind, we're nearly there. There we go. So I've got one in. I think would probably be safe to do this roof. So let's go with Payne's Grey. And where should we go next? So as things dry, maybe we'll go down here and we'll get the water in. Now, what should we use for the water? Got a little bit of Lunar Blue there, which was this one. But perhaps we'll add a bit of green, and this is probably a mix of both undersea and olive green. I just want to green that up a little bit. Yep. And I feel like I want to turn it a tad so as I don't get my head in the shot. And then let's take our Lunar Blue again. And just get some kind of shadows going on like so. Right, I think we should be probably okay. Actually, we did that first. Let's do this house next. I'm going to keep using this colour here, but I'm going to add some buff titanium to it. Actually, I want a bit more buff titanium. Ooh, something's caught on my brush. Let's wipe that off with my tissue. Right. So I've got this kind of apricot-y colour going on. And actually, I think I'll put that one in the background here. Yeah. That kind of tones in quite nicely, I think. I feel like I want to leave one of them white. Maybe this one will leave white. This one, let's add a bit of yellow to that. Okay, and then let's get good thing about keep using colors on your palette is that you're mixing them with colors that you've already used, so everything pulls together a little bit more. That's quite nice against that Payne's grey. Liking that. Okay, now what colour do we want that roof to be? Now I was going to leave that one white, but I feel like it needs to be scuffed up a little bit or something. So let's take a little bit of this colour here. And maybe, where's my sepia? There it is. Let's just grab a bit of sepia. And then with a damp brush, I'm just going to muddy that in a bit. Is that another phrase that I've come up with that isn't a real anything, but there we go. That one just looks a little bit mottled. Now our roof at the back here, let's go back with our Payne's grey. I should probably be using a smaller brush, but I'm just going to manage. There we go. And I think to tie it in, we can have that front door. Let's get a smaller brush now and try and tidy that one up a bit. We need to do the chimney pots. Let's use the Aussie Red Gold on its own. We've got this other front door to do. What colour should we make that? Some of these are white. It's hard to tell really, but maybe go for a bright yellow, because we used yellow already. Now we've got our wall here, and I feel like I should almost do something along those lines so that it looks a little bit more like a wall. And let's use our Aussie Red Gold that we used in our chimney pots and a little bit here. Okay. And now we need to do our windows. So let's go back. Make sure I've got all that yellow off. Let's go back to our, let's water you down a lot more. Lunar Blue. And just very lightly pull those windows in. There we go. Right, I am going to dry that off, and then I'm going to get some pencils out to finish this off. So I will be back in 2 ticks. Right, here we go. I've got some pencils out. This looks like a, what is this called? Pink white. Okay, well, let's go with you. Let's just get, I just don't want it all to look too perfect. You know, a lot of the time this rendering on these houses isn't always wonderfully pretty. And it means I can just tone down some of this paint that I used on this one. Works well. Yeah. So if I bring this up a bit, you can see where I'm just adding in some of this white pencil, and then for some of these, oh, what's this one? brown ochre. That might be a bit better. That's a Derwent Lightfast. I'm just maybe going to get a bit of a shadow going on underneath some of the windows. And just tone that yellow down slightly as well. Yeah, I'm hoping you can kind of see what I'm doing a bit more. And then I want to do something with that brick wall. What have we got here? Burnt sienna. So we'll just add some bits in there to give that a little bit more. And I think I want to darken those windows up a little bit. Delft blue, denim blue. Okay. Okay. And then where is my brown? No, not you. Natural brown, you'll probably do. It's just add a bit of texture there. Like, let's just go all the way over that one. Yeah, I like that better. I do think I need to make those windows stand out a bit more. I'm using my Artgraph soft carbon pencil here. Yeah, they kind of stand out a little bit more now. Okay, well, let's peel this off and see if we're happy or whether we want to do a bit more. Oh, there we go. I think I'm going to leave it there and not do too much to it. Sometimes we can keep going, and yes, we end up wishing we didn't. So there we are. No, I am going to do one more thing. Where is my pencil gone? I think I just want to do that, and with a damp brush, yeah, okay, so I just kind of smudged that a little bit, but I think I prefer it. So some little townhouses by the seaside, bit higgledy-piggledy. Yeah, I quite like that as my today's little art practice. So maybe you'll have a go yourself. I'll make sure I put the links. Actually, can I put the links? I might not be able to find them again, but you can see that I've got them from Pixabay. If you key in townhouses by the sea, then you will get something along these lines. So I'm leaving it at that for today, and have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening, and see you again next time.